way, but it's never a lab accident or something like you see in the movies.
Well,
it's always the boring
lab
way.
accident. Listen to this, Dr. Drew. You're going to really steam over this one. The doctor f***ed up.
Oh, hey, you can't use the F word, Dustin. I'd hang up on you, but you're blind, and I feel bad. Hey, Dustin, what'd you do, pot him down, Anderson? All right, hold on. I'll be back in a second. Yeah. Hey, Dustin.
Yes.
Don't use the F word, please.
I apologize, Adam.
All right, so what'd the doctor do?
Basically, the doctor, when I was born 11 weeks premature, weighed 1 pound 14. They gave me too much oxygen at birth.
Well, no, Dustin. That's not effed up. That's how much oxygen you need to survive. And that's a common complication of high-flow oxygen in a premature child.
But here's where they really messed up. I don't think it was the oxygen that detached my retinas.
Yes.
What it was is they exposed my eyes to too much light before.
No, Dustin, no.
How do you know, Dustin?
How do I know? Because my aunt's a neonatal intensive care nurse, and that's what she told me.
Well, why didn't she do a better job?
Well, she wasn't a nurse at the time.
I see.
I wish she was.
Very convenient.
I had to save my sight, but...
All right, so Dustin...
Hang on, let's get back to the girl.
No, wait a minute. I'm back. Listen, this is easy. We get these all the time. She's not interested, but let me ask you a few things. You've never seen anything in your life, right?
No.
Right. So how would you know if you were attractive? Do people tell you that?
Well, let's put it this way. When I'm a guitar player similar to you, Adam, I play some of the same other types of music.
Oh, that's right.
And when you have girls throw their pantyhose at you and swoon over you for sex afterward, you know.
Hold on a second. Let me talk to Leeza.
It just means they're in a band.
Oh, man. You know, it's funny. Once you forget that... handicapped people can be jack-offs, too. You know what I mean? You'd like to think of all of them as just sweet handicapped people who you really are pulling for. But I really hate this Dustin. I feel bad hating a guy who's totally blind. I really do, but he's a world-class idiot.
No, why?
I
Because
see why
he's arrogant about his looks, or what?
He's just an idiot. But, Drew, please. But I understand why she's dumping him. But, Dustin?
Yes.
All right, so you play in a band. Women throw pantyhose.
Yes, they do.
How many women wear pantyhose anymore is what I'm wanting to know.
Who knows? It's only fat old chicks that wear pantyhose, so their varicose veins don't show.
The other thing that really, I think, why this one girl likes me. She and I have an interest in common, and that's horses. I've taken horseback riding on several occasions, and we both had a really romantic time. I see. Now, how does her, and I apologize for saying I see over and over again. I understand. How is her seeing? What does she see? Well, let's put it this way. She has a false eye in her left eye, and she has pretty decent vision in her right eye.
That's normal. That's normal.
So she sees...
It ain't normal, Dr. Drew.
She sees pretty well, though. Hey, do you ever pop that eye out and use the socket, Dustin, if you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to get
so wrong.
Adam, you are one sick F.
That is so wrong.
Dustin, she has normal vision.
Not
one eye does... Yeah, she has normal vision.
Look at me. Look, Leeza, look at this. I can still, I still see your piece of ass. Look at that.
Can't even discuss this.
I can still tell that. I got one hand over my eye. I can tell Leeza's eye.
Leeza, I wish I were in the studio right now because I have this distinct sense that were I there, I would smell the delightful bouquet of beer or something on Adam's breath. No, seriously, he's high,
sober.
No,
he's high, drunk. No.
Here's what I need to know.
He's high, drunk, or something.
That was last night. It's been a full 14 hours since I was high or drunk, Drew. How dare you?
Adam, here's what I need to know from you.
Yes.
I'd like to take her to dinner, and I know that she wants to go.
Yes.
Dustin, she's checking out. She's not in this relationship. Don't do that.
Dustin, all right, let me talk to you mano here for a second, Dustin. When a woman calls and says, hey, I've met somebody else, you're still in the running. Listen, she's not going to bring up the other guy if you're still in the running. She really isn't. I've never met anyone who's that forthright in my life.
You need to listen to the words, I've met someone else, and the rest needs to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I got to agree with the guys on this one.
Your only chance now, Dustin, is to try to get her juiced up and get one last crack in before she heads back to wherever she's going. That's it. That's your only ploy.
Let's go on to John. He's 22. John?
How you doing?
What's up?
Hey.
My girlfriend, when she was, I think she said 11 or 12, her fallopian tube she said, knotted on itself, or wrapped, tangled, knotted, something like that, and they had to remove it in one of her ovaries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's called a torsion.
torsion, okay.
Ovarian torsion.
I guess my question is, does it affect her chances of ever getting pregnant? And she has a pretty big scar, 6 or 7 inches, right on the front of her belly, under her belly button.
No, really. They probably were just they probably did an exploratory surgery on her and found the torsion when they went in there. That's why the scar is so big.
Wouldn't they unwrap it and just put it back?
No, because if it's torted enough, it will cut its blood supply off and start dying. And at that point, it's got to come out.
She said it was pretty painful.
Yeah, and you can get pregnant with one ovary as well as with two.
Now, with the scar, will it be a problem during the pregnancy?
No, interesting question, but no, it shouldn't.
What, you mean the scarring?
I mean, it'll pull apart or something, but no.
Oh, interesting. But no, that'll never happen.
No.
Sounds like you really want kids, huh?
Well, I'm proposing over the weekend.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Hey, John?
Yeah?
I'll tell you what, around the third trimester, put a little duct tape on that scar just to play it safe. I mean, just
don't worry, the doctor will wrap it. The doctor will wrap the duct tape around it, don't worry. Okay. This is where another place where Leeza and I bond is we have to each have 3 kids. You have 3 kids, right, Leeza?
Yeah.
They go 12 to 8?
Oh, that's good. 11, 8, and 3.
You guys get together. We got a little Brady Bunch thing going on here. What do you got?
No, I must tell you, now Dr. Drew comes into the set of Extra, right? Because he's, doing some stuff with us, and everybody's kind of, very respectful of his time and, his stature and the whole thing. So there's a little buzz when he enters the building. There's like a little buzz, and he's here, and we got to make sure everything's good. We got the best crew.
A little buzz is people napping. There's Z's coming out of their head. That's the buzz.
So but the girls and the guys are all like lining up, to kind of throw themselves at Dr. Drew. And he doesn't try. I mean, he's like kind of the ultimate cool, sort of gliding in, oblivious to everything, sort of that. It's Drew, I'm telling you, it's true.
Well, but Adam knows me as oblivious, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, I wouldn't. Yeah. She came in tonight and told me I looked good, hip, now, and happening. So I wouldn't believe a word of any of that.
Well, I understand, but I understand Leeza needs. She was mentioning she needed to see the ophthalmologist soon, so I figured that's,
Leeza, I have in my hot little hands, though, the sex survey.
Yeah, we should go over that. We really should. It was actually very, very interesting.
Very revealing that we did with Red Book Magazine, and Drew's going to be revealing it, some of it on the air tomorrow. But I got to tell you, I was surprised, and as someone in a monogamous relationship, I was really excited to hear how much sex all of us, people who are in a monogamous relationship are apparently having.
It was over 2.5 times a week.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Which is, and the previous average has been around twice a week.
All right, well,
it's above average.
Well, hold on a second. We got to take ourselves a break, but and then we can get all into the sex survey when we come back. But Leeza,
good survey.
What do you have? Your kids, how do they break down, the 3 of them?
Girl, boy, boy.
Girl, boy, boy.
How do you raise a 3-year-old with your schedule? That is so hard.
It is hard, but you know what? It's he goes in with me in the morning. He plays hall hockey in the halls there while I get hair and makeup. I take him to preschool. I shoot the show. He naps. He wakes up. I pick him up. We come home. It actually works out pretty well.
That's perfect.
Drew drops his kids off at the nannies, has sex with her, and then it's all off to the golf course. Everybody. All right, we'll take ourselves a little break. Dr. Drew over there in Nashville, right, Drew?
Mm-hmm.
Leeza Gibbons here from Extra, NBC, 7:30. And, the Man Show's on now. I have to go watch that. We'll be back after this. Hello, it is Loveline. Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there in Nashville. Leeza Gibbons is our guest tonight. 7 o'clock, NBC. That's when you can find her. 7:00.
Yeah. I was going to correct you, but it just was never the right time. I felt rude.
I was saying 7:30. And Drew?
Yeah.
You know just how that goes on this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a long time, but I'm more concerned with the fact that Leeza should be concerned about being rude to you.
What are you talking about? She respects me, Drew. Do you understand that? You know what I like about Leeza? Leeza makes people feel good about themselves, don't you, Leeza?
Oh, really? That's a nice compliment.
No, you do. You know why? Because you're very attractive and you're very dynamic, and so when you hand out the compliments, it's kind of like, ooh, hey, yes, I must be doing something right.
Well, that's
right.
They say people you want to be with are the people that make you feel good about who you are, so.
I don't know what that means, Drew, but I think it's good, right? Is that good?
I think so. I think it's good.
Well, we all know it's no fun getting getting a compliment from someone who's like a troll, unattractive and out of work. It doesn't mean anything. It means so much more to get a compliment from an attractive person, not just physically, but just an overall package sort of way.
someone whose opinion you would value, and you think a credentialed, somebody who has...
No, just someone who's hot. No, I'm kidding. Yes, of course. Whatever you said, that's what I mean. Let's talk about your sex survey, by the way, which is something. Drew, did you take part in this?
Not in actual delivery of the survey, but in the interpretation.
Okay. And by the way, for those of you who missed the first half hour of the show, Drew can be found on Extra. What days can you be found, Drew?
I'm not clear what days I'm going to be on. I think am I on next week?
You're on next week.
Okay.
He's on. As we like, for instance, right now you're still working on the Swept Away piece, aren't you?
I think we've pretty much finished it, but they're cutting it all up and stuff. So.
These are couples who need the romance ignited back in their lives.
They got sent to Hawaii. They're getting sent to Hawaii, and man,
really,
they got quite a trip. Yeah, Extra does cool things for people.
Yeah, they got money over there. How many years has Extra been on?
7.
And how many different hosts has it had?
Multiple.
Yeah.
It's been through, you know what? The show's been through a lot of iterations, and that's why it was very much our mandate to take this version of the show and to stamp it and to brand it exactly the way we're doing, which is much different than the personality of the show before, both in approach and story selection. I think the show's been very successful, but the landscape of that day part has been a little bit treacherous.
How many years did you do the Leeza show?
7.
Do you miss it?
I do. I miss it desperately. What I miss about it is, there's nothing. I mean, you could certainly relate to this. There is nothing more satisfying than a feeling that you really had a meaningful interaction with someone, and perhaps that was something that was valuable in some way in their life or in yours. And I never left a show feeling that didn't happen. Most often with me on the receiving end of it.
Or that you might have affected viewers in some
Exactly. And, that's just a privileged position to be able to do that. And it was just a tremendous gift.
All right. So we look into that sex survey very quickly. Although I don't trust those completely, because I was reading one in a men's magazine that suggested that, they listed the women's body parts in importance to men, and I think it was like ass and face and eyes and all that. But hold on, Drew.
Yeah.
Feet came before breasts, and I thought to myself, what retard cooked this little piece of garbage
the reason you like this survey, Adam, basically, is that it showed something you've advocated for a long time, is that in men's assessing of women, it basically went body, face, personality.
That's right.
Right.
That's what you said.
With breast leading.
Breast leading, Adam.
Yes,
Adam, you'll be delighted to know. And in men, it became, humor and stature and, what you're doing with your life, and all that stuff ranked ahead of buns and face.
Right. All right. So what do we got there, Leeza? Any interesting tidbits?
Well, aside from the fact that you would approve, this is 10,000 people who voted online. The bulk of them were in sort of 18 to 34. I don't know how much of it we're supposed to reveal, but heck, we're here now, so we'll just talk about what we want to. Yeah, Drew?
Sure. Listen, I think there's a lot of great stuff in there. They asked about Viagra and how people use that, and that was interesting. And that if you read the comments, people aren't going to get to really see this so much on television, so we can talk about this on the radio. And that is that they got specific comments about Viagra and who used it, what it was worked for them or not. And the people that used it recreationally and experimented with it were generally very dissatisfied. It was uncomfortable. It really wasn't arousing. It was just sort of this uncomfortable erection that went on for 10 hours. While people that had diabetes or side effects from medications who used Viagra were delighted with it, because it really does what it's supposed to do in the proper circumstance.
Drew, what if you took that rectally? Would that make a difference?
It would make your hemorrhoids stand up.
How dare you?
Okay, Adam,
Leeza, what do you got over there?
If you have sex with someone,
yes,
cyber sex,
cheating,
yes or no? What do your listeners say?
The ones that are doing it would say no.
How about women versus men?
Well, I think for men, sex, any form of sexual outlet without physical contact is considered not cheating.
Not cheating.
Is considered safe. because men are sort of cut out that way. And we like our pornography, we like our phone sex, we like all that good stuff. Lap dances and nudie bars and bachelor parties and all that kind of stuff. I think when a woman does it, it's cheating. And I know that sounds very convenient, but here's what I'm saying. I think a man could be in a monogamous relationship, have cyber sex, and still remain committed in that monogamous relationship for years and years and years. As a matter of fact, it may keep him faithful for years and years.
Here's what you're getting at. Is it a woman?
Shush.
Wait.
I'm rolling here.
All right,
hold on. When a woman does it, it's a sign. She's lonely. Something. She's dissatisfied with her partner.
Her needs
She's missing.
She's not getting her needs met, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And not surprisingly, in the survey, women do see it as cheating, as being unfaithful.
Right.
Because it's sharing an intimate part of yourself.
But see, guys don't experience it that way. Guys don't believe that sharing intimacy of that type has any meaning whatsoever. But they should feel that way if their partner starts doing that, though, because it does mean something.
But also, women look at it, and I can't blame them for looking at it as cheating, because if they did it, it would be an intimate experience that they would do if they were dissatisfied with the relationship.
And they have a point that any really intimate contact outside of the relationship diminishes the relationship. It does. It detracts from the intimacy of the couple.
Yeah, but what about, Drew, when you go out to a nudie bar all night, get loaded, get 150 lap dances, come back and pound the bejesus out of your wife? Now, does that detract from it?
I don't do that, and if I did, she would feel uncomfortable about it.
But she wouldn't know. The only part that'd be uncomfortable.
See, Leeza, this is the thing about me and Adam. Adam always gives me this thing. Well, what if you do something and your wife wouldn't know about it? that to me, that does. You do it. That's what counts. It doesn't matter whether it's integrity. Right. It's not whether somebody.
It's not the discovery. But I mean, back to the cheating thing. If you, it is convenient though, and that would really bug if I were in a relationship with you and you're saying, oh, but honey, it doesn't mean anything. It's just making me hot for you. And, I'm not planning to meet this person. I don't even... But the fact that it was disturbing to me would mean that you didn't care enough about my feelings.
Wouldn't that be enough
to not let you find out? Yes, I know. No, I know what you're saying. And to put a finer point on it, and then we'll take a call. If my partner or I was using cyber sex, and by the way, I'm not into that because to me all that sort of hypothetical stuff is nonsense. I like my just straight old pornography with the sound turned down, the remote in one hand and my willy in the other, and I'm very old-fashioned that way. I'm almost traditional. But
just an old-fashioned guy.
Yes. I'm a real throwback to the later
19th
70s.
Century. Yeah, 19th century. What are you talking about? Victorian.
But here's
at least he's got the remote going, though.
Here's what I want to say. If my partner was having a conversation with the person, I'd rather them just purely have a sexual conversation and have just purely sexual contact, because it's sexual contact without the contact, so it's okay. I'd rather that than them just be chatting for hours about nothing with somebody else. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah. In a weird way.
In a weird way. Wouldn't you rather know that your husband just hopped on the Mac, took care of himself, and jumped back in the sack with you rather than was talking for hours and hours with somebody?
Yes.
And totally, I mean, if it was like non-sexual, it'd be unnerving, wouldn't it?
It would.
It'd be like, hey, this guy's having a relationship.
That would be, to me, I mean,
he's courting somebody.
That would be much more of a violation.
Yes.
I agree.
Right. Tracy?
Hi.
You're 16.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Okay, I was in the woods having sex, and I got a tick on my leg, and I got it out and everything, but there was this, now there's this purple ring around where it was, and I don't know what that is.
No, I know what that's like. She pulled the rope she was using to hold her pants up off. She made a tourniquet. Then she took some of her tobacco out of her mouth and put a little dab of it in order to kill the tick, right?
Oh, that's the only place we can hang out.
Another sip off the cider jug and headed back to the shack. Well, Grandpa was out on his rocking chair with that pointy cap, and he's polishing his two-barrel shotgun. Is that? I'm really picturing like a Hatfields and the McCoys sort of thing going on here.
One of those scenes right out of Hee Haw.
It really was.
The Barbie twins out front.
No, Hee Haw twins. So you got a tick while you're having sex in the woods.
Tracy, is there a scab right in the center of that purple ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what tick bites look like oftentimes. However, there is something called Erythema chronica migraines, which is a rash that occurs around the tick bite when you get Lyme disease.
Right, that was my question was. Like, because I heard that you get that red ring around it. And I'm
it's usually what they call a serpiginous border, meaning it's sort of an irregular, snaky kind of border rather than that perfect ring, which is usually just the bite. But listen, you got to get a doctor to look at that because getting a course of antibiotics might be worthwhile. Where were you? What part of the country were you in?
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland, so you're in endemic areas, and you got to watch. You got to check it out.
Why? What's you can get like Lyme disease?
Lyme disease. That is the initial lesion of Lyme is a rash coming out from the tick bite.
What about that Rocky Mountain spotted fever tick I learned about on the Hearts commercial in 1977?
Is a hard tick called Dermacentor americanus, and I actually found one of those on my son on his birthday. We were out playing football in the back, and it was on his collar. I freaked out. And I'm in Southern California.
Well, Jesus, I was attacked by a snake going down your driveway, so I really was.
Drew's wild kingdom.
He lives in the Serengeti. He really does.
And I've treated a few cases of Rocky Mountain spotted fever. That's a nasty disease. It's mostly in Idaho, Montana, that part of the country.
Yeah, where it doesn't
really
really matter.
Yeah.
All right, so how'd you get that off? You just burnt it off with your Tipperillo, or how'd you get it off your son's neck? Tracy, how'd you get the tick off?
I lit a match and burned it off.
That's the thing. Mine I found it on his collar. It wasn't in his skin yet.
Oh, I mean, it was actually, it was on the collar of his shirt.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tracy?
Yeah?
Do you have a shed or something you could move up to as far as a place to have sex?
It's the only place we can hang out at night where there's no cops around.
I see.
No cops?
Yeah.
How old is he?
Because, we go out at, 2 in the morning, and, there's a lot of cops around.
Where are your parents?
My parents? Oh, they don't know I go out.
How old is he?
2 in the morning.
How old am I?
He.
Oh, he was 19.
19 and you're 16.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. All right, I think you guys need to step up to a storm drain. Or
freeway
a Gardner shed or something like that. Freeway underpass, yes.
Yeah.
But what is that where he takes you like on Valentine's Day and your anniversary? Honey, I got a nice refrigerator box. It's right under the overpass. It's beautiful. All we got to do is kick some hobos out of here and we're getting it on.
Don't you think your mother really knows what you're doing? Your parents have no idea that you're sneaking out?
My mom's caught me a few times, but, I make up really good excuses.
What would be a really good excuse?
Well, one night when I was rolling, there was a really bad accident and a car caught on fire, and I told my mom that some of my friends had gotten in a really bad car accident, and I just took a walk.
I see. All right.
No dad here, Adam.
Yeah, where's Dad?
Where's my dad? He's here.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
What's he doing? Just drinking?
No. Oh, God, my dad doesn't drink at all.
What's he do?
My dad, he works for the government.
I see.
Why aren't they parenting a little better?
Well, they're parenting better. It's just I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. They can't stop me.
No, really?
They can.
Boy, I'd stop you.
They can, but they're not going to.
I'd hobble you.
You'd hobble me?
I really would. I'd put that 4x4 between your legs and whack you with a sledgehammer so you
I'm not doing anything
get out of there.
Bad.
You're not?
No.
You're getting attacked by wildlife and a 19-year-old out in the woods at 2 in the morning, for Christ's sake.
But I make good grades. I do everything.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. You what are you in 11th grade?
Me? No, I'm in 10th grade.
I see. You're going off to college one day?
Yeah.
All right. Just listen. Don't get pregnant.
I don't plan to.
Have them use a piece of bark or a condom or something.
What are you doing to prevent the pregnancy?
Oh, I'm on birth control.
Fantastic.
And your mother knows that you're active sexually, obviously?
Yeah, I told her.
Does she?
She took me to Planned Parenthood to get pills.
Right. But your dad doesn't know, right?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, I love that. I love, Drew, you're going to have one of those relationships.
No.
Give it about, let's see, how old are your kids? 8? Give it another 3 years. I say you're going to have one of those relationships where you're Susan's carting the kids off to Planned Parenthood. You're oblivious. You're having a talk with her fiance when she's like 24, going, now be careful on her hymen on the wedding night, and he's laughing his ass off.
God, it's just like out at 2 a.m. I don't know. I mean, you have to think those parents must know. They just don't want to deal with it.
Dad doesn't want to deal.
Yeah, it's a mix of denial and people in this country don't do the hard job of parenting.
That's right.
A huge majority.
Unlike Mexico, where they really step up to the challenge. Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. All right, Drew, can we take a break, or are you done bashing on this country? You take a moment for that?
A moment, just a moment.
Leeza Gibbons is our guest tonight from Extra, 7 o'clock. It is the Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew in Nashville, the globe-trotting doctor. Wherever there's money, that's where you can find him, everyone. Leeza Gibbons is our guest tonight from Extra, 7 o'clock. NBC weeknights, and Dr. Drew doing some guest corresponding on the show. Tomorrow night, I will give out my cranberry recipe. I think it's very important every year. Leeza,
Thanksgiving.
Every celebrity, every celebrity has his cause. You know,
right.
For some, it's pediatric AIDS. Others, heart disease or retarded kids. For me, it's cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
During Thanksgiving,
it's more than cranberry sauce. Yeah. It's fighting against white trash cranberry.
Right, and the popular notion that it's okay to open a can of cranberries
and just
for
slice it up and throw it on the cut glass thing.
Slice it up right there in front of me, like so much dog food.
No, it's not okay.
It is definitely not okay, especially considering how easy it is to make your own cranberry sauce at home. I'm not much of a cook. I make up a big batch every year and bring it with me to any festivity that I go to, much to the dismay of the person who slaved in the kitchen for 8 hours, but I will be goddamned if I'm going to eat canned cranberries on Thanksgiving.
So you'll have instant coffee, but not the canned cranberries?
No, I will not eat instant. I will not drink instant coffee.
You bring
either.
that with you too?
My family, the Carollas are, we're going to change our name to the Retardas. I think, actually, because my family, I got to get drunk and yell at them each and every Thanksgiving. There's that big conversation that goes around, speaking of coffee, because my families, they're sort of poor and they're sort of white trash and they're downtrodden, and they like it that way. So every year it's the show of hands, who wants coffee? This is the big controversy all the time. So I always raise my hand. I'd like some coffee. John, how about you? You want some coffee? John's got to think about it for 45 minutes.
What's a big decision?
Cheese decaf. No coffee. As if it's his last meal, or he's trying to pick out, an automobile. And my family would look at my stepdad John would look at having a cup of coffee like making a purchase of a home. Geez. What are the closing costs on that cup of coffee? What kind of interest rate are we getting on that? Okay. So anyway, he'll have. So I'll raise my hand, and then inevitably my sister will probably raise her hand. She'll have a cup of coffee. So there'll be 8 of us there.
Yeah.
And then my mom comes up with this one. Well, if just 2 of you are going to have a cup of coffee, I'm going to make instant. And then this is me with a couple of highballs and a half a bottle of Chardonnay in me, where I then go on my white trash downtrodden riff, which is I will not drink instant goddamn coffee. I make a pot of coffee every morning to my head. I drink it alone. Do you understand? Every morning. And this is where my mom starts getting angry, because now I'm yelling. Mom, every morning, I don't care how late I am. I don't care if my flight's waiting for me to LAX. I don't care where I got to go or who I got to see. I make a pot of coffee for myself every goddamn morning. And you know why? Because I'm worth it. And you want to know why else? Because it takes 2 minutes. It takes you 2 minutes and 28 seconds to boil the water, make the instant, and it takes 2 minutes and 44 seconds to put it in the coffee maker.
But see,
and it's Thanksgiving, and I'm having coffee.
It's just that you don't feel loved with the instant. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with your white trash, downtrodden superiority dance. You don't feel like your mother loves you if she makes the instant.
No, I know she doesn't love me, but and then my grandmother, who has, I don't know when it is, I don't know what age you get to when you decide that freezing everything's a good idea. Like where you go, oh, I'm not going to finish that bagel half, but if perhaps I put it in the freezer for 4 years, I'll thaw it out and eat it at some point. Yeah, oh, and that tab of margarine, on the little square, put that in the freezer next to it. They just start freezing everything.
Well, my mother used to put it in the Ziploc bag, like soup, vegetable soup.
Right. Yeah, put it in the bag and freeze it, and so everything becomes frozen. So the instant coffee that my grandma, she has even the regular coffee, it's like a chock full of nuts can from with like a war bond advertisement on the back of it.
In your freezer?
Yeah, in my grandmother's freezer, and she'll put, and I'll have to take like the business end of the spatula, like the handle of the spatula to break up enough to get it into the coffee machine.
I'm feeling bad because I have coffee in my freezer right now.
It's all right to have coffee in your freezer, but it should be the kind that you grind. It should be the whole bean variety, you see. Yeah, so I'm going to give. I'm an elitist. I'm going to elevate everyone's game just a little bit. See, I believe if you start acting a certain way, you will become that way.
I totally agree with that.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give my cranberry recipe tomorrow night, Drew. I know you'll be riveted.
I am holding my breath until we can get to it. Every year I wait for this.
We've just discovered that we live relatively near each other, and I was toying for a moment with the idea of, inviting him over.
I may swing by.
If he brings his own coffee and his own cranberry, this might not be bad.
I will absolutely bring it all. And whatever you got left, even if it's some giblets or bone, my grandmother will freeze it for next year.
Now, I've kind of got a redneck past myself.
Oh, do you?
So we could bond. Really go to town there.
That's it. I'm going to Leeza's house for some hot toddies. We'll start a fire. We'll
Adam,
get your husband out of there.
Adam does not have a redneck past. He has a white trash past.
Yeah, a little different. Yeah, rednecks have skills. They can fix things. All right.
Sarah's 20.
No, we got to take a break, Drew.
Oh, my God.
And Leeza, you're just staying for the first hour,
What happened? What happened to all these phone calls?
Oh, baby, listen.
Baby.
Come back.
Oh, honey.
I'm sweet talking to you now, but just come back after the break and say bye and take a call, all right?
All right, we'll do that.
All right, we'll be back. Loveline with the very hot Leeza Gibbons.
Oh, I love it.
It was too long a beat in there. I almost got it right, though. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew over there. It's Loveline 1-800-LOVE-191. Me and, Drew, I was just explaining the difference between a sweet potato and a yam to Leeza.
It's been a Martha Stewart moment.
Pray tell.
She didn't know the difference between a sweet potato and a yam.
No, I did. I thought you could melt your marshmallows on either one.
No, you.
But my children evidently have been deprived all this time.
You candy the yams, not the sweet potatoes.
Okay.
So sweet potato you make the pie out of.
Okay.
The sweet potato pie.
So what is
soul food? A yam is essentially a sweet potato on steroids. I mean, it's like here's the way it would break down. If you'd ask me, you have let's say on the far right of the potato chart, you'd have yam. And on the far left, you'd have a baking potato, just a regular russet potato, right?
Right.
Sweet potato would be closer to the yam on the chart, but toward the middle a little bit. If you get my drift. A sweet potato is somewhere between a yam and a regular potato, closer to the yam family.
Wow! Okay. All right.
My stepdad, John, he loves sweet potatoes, but he will not eat yams, and that's another thing that drives me insane each and every year because I yell at him. A yam is more sweet potato. Do you understand? It's a sweet potato plus more. It's like a really good sweet potato. How can you like sweet potatoes and not like yams?
Can't you just put enough brown sugar on it to make it okay?
You can.
And butter.
But using your logic, why not just start with a baking potato, put a ton of brown sugar and marshmallows on it? I didn't realize
you were such an Epicurean.
If I knew what that meant, I would agree. Yes, I am. Thank you, Drew. What?
Is Leeza trying to get out of here or not?
She put her jacket on.
No, only because it's cold and because, you know what, quite frankly, it makes me nervous just looking at the things written on your screen with these callers. It just kind of makes me nervous. So I do have to hear some phone calls.
All right, why don't you pick one? Do you have one that jumps out? Oh, I see, we have one. Sarah. Well, take Sarah, and then Leeza can pick the next one. Sarah, you're 21. What's up?
Oh, my gosh. Hi, I'm good.
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. What do you want?
I'm calling because I have completely lost my sex drive.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
At 21?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I have a boyfriend, and we've been together, I guess, like a year and a half, and I just, within the last few months, I've just lost it.
What's he doing? Is he doing anything wrong?
No.
Emotionally?
No.
He's not disappointing you in any way?
Not in any way. I still find him extremely attractive, and I
more
still
importantly,
love him.
when a young, healthy adult suddenly loses libido, more often than not, that's medication. Are you taking any new medication?
No, last year I was a lot, but
what were you taking?
I was on something called Prevacid. I had a lot of stomach problems last year.
No, it's a stomach medicine. And how about birth control pill?
Yeah, I am on that.
When did you start that?
Last December.
Doesn't sound like you need it, though.
Seriously?
What, really, do you think you may be falling out of love with this guy?
No, not at all.
No.
It's not that. It's not even, I don't even feel like masturbating or anything anymore either.
Are you sure no change in the dose of your birth control pill or anything like that?
No.
And or anything else going? Are you excessively exercising or training for sports or anything of that sort?
No.
Because when it's a tangible loss, when sex is sort of like, ugh, why bother? That's usually a biological event. I mean, that's something that that's sort of very absolute shutdown. That rings of biology for me.
Did you put some weight on, Sarah?
No, not at all.
Oh, you just laughed when Drew asked if you were working out. So
you're fat.
No.
No, but were you getting at the girls who are anorexic or whatever?
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, right. That was a little.
Or?
Okay, so hey, Sarah. So it's not medication. It's not any weight change. It's not depression. You're happy with your mate, right?
Yes.
And you just feel not only shut down toward him, but even when you're alone.
Yeah, pretty much.
How about kickstarting yourself with a little sex? You know, how about just holding still, letting him have sex with you?
No, I do. It's not that we don't ever.
Fantastic. You're just not into it.
Not like I used to be. No. I used to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you overactive before? Maybe.
I think so. My first years of college, I think I was.
Did something happen in your past that's coming back to haunt you emotionally?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was molested when I was 12.
There you go.
There we go. Well, we had to flip the final card.
Yeah, there's one other card here to go, I think. And is there bipolar illness in your family?
Not that I know of. There's a lot of high anxiety, and I used to be really depressed when I was in high school, but...
Who molested you when you were growing up?
I didn't know him. It was a complete stranger.
Oh, refreshing. And you never, was it a consistent thing or just happened once?
Just a one-time thing.
So sort of a rape.
Almost, yeah.
I see. Well,
I got away, so it wasn't, but...
Yeah, that sounds like it could contribute, but that still doesn't sound like all of it.
And how often are you having sex now?
Maybe once every few weeks.
How much when you were sort of peaking? How frequently?
Almost at least every other day, I guess.
Okay. All right.
I mean...
All right. Well, I don't know what the answer to this one is. I mean, Drew, what about this? And Leeza as well. You know, if you took your life, you'd see cycles. You know what I mean? There were times, especially with women, where a lot of women, I know you said surprised earlier in the call that, at 21 you lost your sex drive, but there's a lot of women who are doing it a lot more at 31 than they are at 21, and there's sort of, everyone sort of has their salad days, as it were, and maybe she's just going through a little ebb and flow sort of situation here. I mean, I don't want to make it too easy, but maybe that's a contributing factor.
And certainly she sounds like she has some mood instabilities, and that can contribute to those sorts of cycles.
Let's let Leeza pick out another call.
Well, I was kind of interested because I've never really heard this, and I know Drew has the answer, and I'm sure that Adam, you've done this before. Let's go to the underwater sex call.
Oh, really?
Is that okay?
No, I masturbated in my uncle's jacuzzi once, if that's what you're talking about. What line is that?
It's 5.
Line 5. Erica.
Yes.
You're 16. What's up?
I was wondering which is the safest way to have sex underwater.
Well, first off, you got to come up for air every few minutes, so you
safest way is to make sure, right?
I mean, like not like totally submerged.
I see.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking like in the ocean, a hot tub, a pool?
Like in a hot tub.
And what is the safety issue we're addressing here?
Well, like I was thinking about it, and it seems like a condom would just like slip off like more easily, or like not stay on properly.
Yeah, there's a concern for that.
Really?
You gotta make sure that. Yeah, well, not necessarily.
Well, I mean, they have like those caps that the swimmers wear and stuff. Those don't come off. It's sort of a condom for your head if you think about it.
That's right. You got to pay attention. That's all.
You know, yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to tell Leeza, my technique was I don the condom and then I give it a little shot from the jacuzzi jet just to kind of blow,
a little something extra.
A little something extra in there for the ladies. And then I just quickly tie it off at the top there and I go to town. You know what I mean? It's like,
Erica.
It's like floating on air.
Erica was 16.
Erica, how old is your boyfriend?
18.
I see. Fantabulous. Whose jacuzzi is this?
His.
Uh-huh. And do you wear a condom when you're on land?
Yes.
You do? Yeah, this could be dangerous. He might get you pregnant here.
Well, you just got to pay attention.
I'm also on the pill, but I also make him wear a condom.
All right, you're fine.
Can't be safe enough.
For birth
well
control.
Protected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you having him wear the condom for birth control or STDs?
Well, he was a virgin when we had sex first, so it's not so much for the STDs. It's just because I don't want to have to deal with ever getting pregnant.
I see.
You won't. Right. Don't worry. Just take the pill properly.
All right, Erica. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. Turns out the guy was 18. He was a virgin. A little hot tub love.
Hot tub love.
Brian?
Yes.
You're 19.
Sure.
What's up?
I just wanted to call and say hi to Leeza.
Hi, Brian.
How's it going?
That's very nice of you. It's going well, actually.
Well, good. Are you enjoying your job at Extra?
Yeah, it's good. It's working out. It's working out well. I've only been there a couple of months, and in that amount of time, we've seen some pretty dramatic changes. And I really, I worked for ET for a lot of years, so I'm excited to get back and talk to celebrities. I enjoy that. I like. It's one of the perks, Adam, of going out to all the...
Sure.
See all the movies.
No, I make the scene. Who are you talking to?
Well, I know you do.
I can be found on just about every red carpet in town.
You know what, Leeza, that people can't really see from their television set is the quality of the organization. I mean, there's really excellent producers, and the executives are really...
Oh, no, it shows, Drew. It does.
No, but they're
no, he's not sucking up. It's a talented team of people. It's really fun to work there. And, I like the diversity. I like the consumer stuff. I like the medical stuff. And I'm very, very happy, honest to goodness, that Drew is working with us on sex and relationship, because I think people are, obviously it's an area that people are wildly interested in, and it's challenging to find a way to cover it that's
tasteful.
That's tasteful, and that's also substantive and real and all of that.
Be honest. Who was your first choice? Was it Dean Adele? Was it Dr. Laura? Who did your people go after? How many folks did you get to before Drew?
They wanted you at first.
Dr. John, Dr. J.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Hoggly Woggly from the Tyler, Texas barbecue and
Puff Daddy was our first choice, but we couldn't get him.
So you eventually ended up with Drew because the price was right. And what about Mary Hart? How much do you hate her?
What about Mary Hart? How do we get to Mary Hart?
You must hate her.
I do not.
Really?
Why?
Really? Yeah, why? Why don't you hate her?
Why would she?
I don't know. I want to know, too. Why don't you hate her?
Because there's nothing to hate about her.
Really?
Mary's
Is she a nice woman?
She's a great lady. She's a good mom, and she's 20 years been doing that show.
Oh, my God.
That's pretty phenomenal, actually.
But didn't she have her legs insured or some sort of nonsense?
What a great bit of PR that was.
I know, but I don't trust that.
I think it was for like a day.
All right.
Well, what about Lopez having her booty insured?
I know, more publicist nonsense. And Mary sings. Oh, remember when Mary was giving people epileptic seizures?
Oh,
remember
the sound
that?
of the voice or something?
Yeah. That was my favorite part of E.T. That must have been... Ooh, I'm going to say that was like, I don't know, 86 or something.
It was somewhere back in the 80s.
It was kind of early. Drew, did you remember that story?
No.
You know about seizures, right?
I do.
Certain things can trigger them?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Kind of.
Well, you were talking about it the other night on the show, that certain things can trigger seizures.
I was talking about cocaine and triggering seizures, I believe.
All right.
Well, go ahead.
Listen, don't crap on my point. Coke, Mary Hart's, all the same. There was somebody who was calling from, or some woman in the Midwest who would...
No, it was a guy, wasn't it?
Was it a guy? I don't know. He or she was having seizures because of Mary's voice. I'm sure it was nonsense.
Has Mary ever been here with you?
No, we've not been together. Is she a good person?
She is.
Really?
You need to invite her to come over. You'd have a good time with her.
All right. We certainly will. What's that, Drew?
I'm blanking your former partner's name.
Who's your former partner?
John Tesh?
John Tesh.
Oh, John Tesh comes on quite a bit.
We love Teshy.
Yes, we do love him.
We do.
It's not popular to love him, but I'll admit it anyway. I love it.
I've never understood it.
Well, there's certain guys like Tesh and Hasselhoff and Dr. Drew who you just don't want to be associated with. You're considered a geek or a square, not with it, not now, not edgy. And there's a handful of guys. Like, we love John Tesh and we love Tom Arnold, two of the most hated people in show business. And downtown Julie Brown. I really enjoy it, too.
She's fabulous.
I know, but everyone hates her.
I don't
They really
get that.
do. Listen, there's certain people that are hated for no good reason, and certain people... Oh, and well, I'll carrot top to that list. There's certain people that people just don't seem to like, but I find myself liking them.
Well, they happen to be great people.
I guess so. Or they're just so effed up and needy we feel sorry for them. It's one or the other. Not in Tesh's case, though. He's a good man. He's a very, very solid man.
He is not, however, and Drew, let me just make this point here. First of all, Brian, thank you so much. That was very nice of you to be concerned about my Extra experience. Now, Drew, this week, when you guys watch Extra, you're going to see him doing the sex survey thing. And I just want to get that in before I go.
I see. Yeah, go ahead.
Before I go, I had to plug it and self-promote.
Any tidbits about the sex survey you want to throw out there?
Well, the thing that interested me was, would you have sex to get a promotion at work?
Oh, yeah.
And
absolutely. Bend over, Anderson.
A surprising number of people said that they would.
I'm going to take Lycus' spot tomorrow.
Well, what I think was surprising, if I remember, is
really?
more men said they would by a large margin than women.
Yeah.
And it's sort of stereotypically something you worry that women get stuck having to do. But men sort of want to take that on and carry that banner.
Yeah, but you're not.
But that, you know what? I think that the good news for women in this is it shows that there are, theoretically more women in positions of power to promote the men. So I think that's good for our side.
No,
although it doesn't specify sex with women.
Right.
No, it did not.
That is a complete hypothetical.
It was.
And listen, the equivalent of having, of course, every guy's going to say he'd gladly have sex with whoever, with his boss to move forward in his career, but he's picturing some chick off the set of Ally McBeal.
It's like the Sex and the City girls.
Demi Moore with the glasses and the hair in the bun and the smart business suit and the heels, and they're not picturing some guy named Roscoe with a big ass who they got to blow before. And then, I'll tell you, you want to be truthful about this. For guys, you say there's a male boss you have to have sex with, and then it becomes somewhat analogous for men and women.
Yep.
Because that's an extra bonus. You get a promotion and you get to bang somebody. Fantastic. Sign me up.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. So, so men say they would do this and women. But here's the hypothetical I've always wanted to ask. And forget about these surveys. Start asking bizarre hypotheticals. who would you have sex with, like Stalin or Hitler? Bizarre, morbid, hypothetical questions, because that's entertaining.
Interesting enough, one of the things that Leeza and the Extra crew is going to allow me to do is to go out into interesting places and just take a mic and ask questions of people in interesting places about their lives and relationships.
Huell Hauser's going to make fun of you in a year, Drew.
But I couldn't be asking.
You'll be at the Laurie seasoning plant in Glendale, interviewing one of the guys with the hairnets on.
I may be asking them. I may be asking him, though, would he have sex with Hitler? Or with Ava Braun?
Ava Braun. All right, listen, here's...
No, Drew is asking the direct questions.
I know.
I'm really looking forward to that. That is going to be a very interesting segment.
No, I've said this about Drew. He asks the hard questions that other people won't ask and don't care about. I've said that many times. But here's the hypothetical I've always wanted as somebody to ask. And I'll ask you, Leeza.
Right.
I know the answer you're going to give me, but please...
Well, maybe you don't.
Please let me talk you into the answer.
As long as there's no cranberry sauce involved.
No, but I may swing by on Thursday.
No, you're very invited.
And I'll be good and loaded by that time, too. So the party's really going to start.
Coffee.
Here's the hypothetical. And it's tough for you because you work in a sort of environment, and you're sort of the big cheese over there. But close your eyes for a moment. Obviously, I don't want you to mention him over the air, but close your eyes if you would.
Okay.
I'm going to feel her up. No, close your eyes.
Yes.
And picture... Shush up, Drew. Picture the...
I need to go.
Picture right after this hypothetical. Picture the most unattractive man you work with.
Why am I doing this?
This is part of my hypothetical.
Okay, yeah, got it.
You got him. I don't care if the guy's a grip.
Got it.
It could be a PA, a producer, a makeup guy, whoever. There's always one of these guys floating around your work. Everyone, anytime you work somewhere with more than 5 people, there's one really unattractive guy that grosses out every woman in the office. And it's like, his name is Russ, and he's in sales, and every once in a while when you guys are having a few margaritas after work, keep them closed. You go, yeah, well, you'll have to make out with Russ for 5 minutes, and that girl's go, look at the heebie-jeebies. Okay, so you've got that guy pictured.
Yes, he's in mind.
He's in mind. Okay, now, here's the hypothetical.
Go.
You either have sex with this man, we'll call him Russ. It's just a quickie. It's just a one-night thing. It's not a big date. It's not a courtship.
No one has to see us.
Straight sex. Nobody sees you and nobody knows.
Okay.
And, as a matter of fact, when you're done, Russ doesn't even know. Oh, he knows it during that time. But when you're done, he zips his pants up. He doesn't know, and nobody knows. You know, nobody else knows at work. Or you do not have sex with Russ, but everybody in that office at Extra, everyone from the catering guy to the headline producer knows you had sex with Russ, just knows it, including Russ, and there's even though you didn't, and there's no way you're going to talk anybody out of it. I mean, they know it. They know it like you know your son's name. You see what I'm saying?
And by the way, this is the crap that Adam Citron's thinking about all day. Okay.
It's a great hypothetical. It really is.
Which would you rather?
Yeah, which would you rather? Now, most guys would say, oh, screw it, I'll just have a couple of beers and do her. Get it over with. I don't want to deal with it. And most women... the first time around, they go, I don't care. My virtue and my pride is worth more than anything. Let people say what they want. Let them think what they want. I know the truth. But it's nonsense, because I say to them, you're going to show up Monday morning, and every person, every time that PA who hands you the coffee is going to be thinking about Russ. They're all going to picture big, disgusting Russ on you. And eventually, if I have enough time, I can work them and whittle them down to them going, how long do I have to have sex with Russ? And I go, just 10 minutes, just long enough for Russ to finish up. And they go, okay, fine. So what do you think?
No.
Come on, baby.
No.
Everyone.
No.
John Tesh swings by the set. He's high-fiving Russ.
Nope.
Everyone at that set. Dr. Drew's giving Russ a little elbow. Russ wants a little penicillin from Dr. Drew. He's not sure. He didn't wear a condom. No
evolution.
Come on.
High school.
No. Everybody at that show knows. They're all talking. They're laughing behind her. Then the Christmas party rolls around.
And we're right there now.
And people are drinking. They're drinking.
And it starts
and they're
to
coming
get around.
up, and the kids are there, and the husband is there, and people are talking, and they know it.
But the hypothetical
Come on,
doesn't
you get
work.
it over with.
Russ is so disgusting. The hypothetical doesn't work because people would never assume that you'd be with them, right?
But they know it. They know it. They know it like you know your son's name.
They think you just got drunk and you just messed up?
They just know it.
What would happen?
This is the beauty of a hypothetical.
It's the X-Files.
They don't wait. It's even more disconcerting. It's like, Leeza, I thought she was a family woman. I can't believe that. Oh, and he's so disgusting. What is she thinking? But they know it.
No.
Yeah, you get it over with.
No.
Get it over with.
No.
One quick night. Come on.
No.
You would so.
But I can tell
liar.
you, whoever I know named Russ now doesn't have a prayer. Russ is always going to be that guy with the hairy back now.
All right. Oh, all right. I bet I could. She'd do it. I don't have any hair on my back. Please. Drew's like a burn victim. He's like a prepubescent burn victim.
Yeah, but how about your backside?
All right. So listen,
Like
it's the winter. All right, we'll take ourselves a little break. I want to say bye to Leeza. Yeah, okay.
Hey, Drew.
She's gotta go.
Leeza.
Travel safely. I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Will do. Thank you for coming on.
All right, and we'll be back. Hey, Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew over there. Big cranberry recipe tomorrow night. Tell me I don't know our demographic on this show, Drew.
They are glued to that topic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So did Leeza make it out in one piece?
Leeza made it out of here.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You had a head of steam behind you tonight.
I think she dug me.
Well, I think you thought so.
Yeah. Lisa's one of these women who makes guys feel good, you know? Yeah. She's a pretty person who's not really interested in you, but can act somewhat interested in you, and she makes you feel good about yourself.
You can imagine she has to compensate for that by like punching a bag or something later.
She must go home and she goes home and beats the crap out of her kids every night because
that dirtbag Carolla, an hour and a half of this, and the whole time making him feel good.
She's probably sitting in a tub right now with a loofah trying to scrape herself clean.
Yeah.
All right, but she didn't give in to my hypothetical, Drew. She really didn't.
No.
I could have broken her off the air. I know I could have. Where are we going with these calls?
Right here to Matt.
Matt?
22.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
I want to say that I am also an atheist with a high tolerance of pain and sensitive nipples, too.
Wow, we're peas in a pod.
And I gave the thumbs up in the mirror yesterday. But anyway, all right, I'm having a problem. I've received oral sex before.
You have received oral sex?
Yeah, and
I see.
So, I don't know. This one was out of the ordinary, and it's like they're twitching all day.
What is?
My testicles.
I see.
And it was like different orgasm. It like almost hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Now, what do you chalk this up to? I mean, technique.
She was like pressing on some spot below.
I see.
And
what spot would that have been?
What's that?
What spot would that have been?
I don't know, like above it's like the perineum, I think.
Perineum?
There you go.
Way back there, huh? Was she trying to get you?
I was also looking, maybe you guys can shed some light on this, but like in the book section, there's these books saying about men can be multi-orgasmic.
Yeah.
Is that hocus pocus or what?
Yeah,
that's pretty much bogus.
That's just a bunch of fags trying to make a buck.
But
it really is.
She was trying to get you to have a retrograde ejaculation, so nothing would come out of you.
Okay.
Did that happen?
She questioned. It felt like twice as much, but
but pressing hard back there makes it go back up into your bladder.
Matt, what'd you do? Go to one of those ranches in Nevada and get some 55-year-old prostitute?
No. She's a good girl, man.
Well, I'm just saying, she knows her way around a set of nuts.
Yeah.
But, you know, that is a sort of diabolical scheme. All you girls should listen up, which is if you can put pressure in just the right place at just the right time, you could save yourself a trip to the bathroom.
Back a day. I'm out of it today. I can't even work out. But
because of what she did to you.
Yeah, like this morning. And so.
Well, you know, Drew, I'm with Matt, and I've said this many times. Anytime you interrupt something your body is about to do at the last minute, I believe it hurts it.
Yeah,
Sneezing, cramping, peeing, vomiting, coming, whatever it is you're about to do.
It's a gerund, ing.
Whatever you're inging, and somebody tries to nip it, it's going to hurt something.
Yeah, and the spasm may just be the cremasteric muscles sort of quivering it later. But
Russ?
Adam, you son of a bitch.
Russ, it's like you're the name I used on the hypothetical ugly office guy.
You have no idea how much crap I'm going to get from my buddies tomorrow. Oh, my God. I'm going to have to just...
Leeza would rather kill herself than sleep with you, according to my
and
hypothetical.
then she made the hairy back reference, and I about jumped out of my car.
What's up, Russ?
It's just, you got to pick a different name when you're describing...
I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Larry next time.
Larry's much better.
What's up, Russ?
Oh, my God. No, that's it.
Oh, I see.
You were killing me. I was squirming in the seat to begin with, and then she made the hairy back reference, and I about jumped out of my car.
Yeah, chicks don't like hair on guys, and it's getting worse and worse because now they're giving birth to women who hate it even more. I've really learned that. I would like to find some sort of hair chart, whereas in the 50s, women didn't even know they could hate hair on a man.
Well, and then shaving now, too.
They're waxing and plucking and shaving, and then it got into like the 70s, and they still weren't quite sure. They started to get an inkling that they weren't nuts about it. And we started getting into the 80s, and their little grassroots movement started to swell amongst women of not liking hair. And around the mid-90s is where it really started to come into full effect. And now it's like, hey, if you got eyebrows, you're screwed.
Yeah.
When did women decide they wanted to start dating teenage boys? And listen, I understand that hair on a man's back is not an attractive sight, but most men, and I underline the word men, are going to have some hair on them, at least on the front side. And there's a lot of women who don't think men should have hair on them, period. And you pussies out there are now complying in shaving your faggoty selves and ruining it for the rest of us who actually have hair and have too much dignity and or are too lazy to shave themselves. See, now you pussies shave, then the women see you, and now they think we're supposed to be like you. And that is now ruining it for everyone.
All right, Elsa's 14.
Hold on. How dare you, Anderson? Anderson suggested that me zapping the hair that was around my Adam's apple was some sort of vanity-based move, when in terms it was a legitimate medical problem. I had shaving rash.
The ingrown hairs.
Thank you.
The heartbreak of ingrown hairs.
How dare you. Elsa?
Yes, you had to have laser on your faggoty self, as you say.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. There were so many of those faggoty guys in there. They were getting their backs done. They were getting their ass crack done. They were getting the back of their necks done. It's pathetic.
I'm going to get hair removal.
And Drew laughs like a madman because he has zero hair on him. Zero. I mean, does your wife know the difference between you and another woman when she's in bed with you?
What you're freaking out about is I don't have any hair on my arms.
You don't have hair on your arms? You do not have what we call a normal... What do you call that, Drew?
Male escutcheon.
Male escutcheon. You don't have nothing on your underarms, nothing around the nads. You have no hair on you. I've seen you, Drew.
You're a beard, dude.
You're 40-something years old. You have no hair on your body. That's why I like hanging out with Jimmy.
He makes you feel good.
No, let me tell you, how dare you? Let me tell you something about the hair on me. It's in all the right places except for the ass. Thank you. All right.
Elsa.
Yeah. My dad, he's spending way too much time with his girlfriend other than me.
Have you told him that?
Yeah, and he keeps throwing the same comment in my face.
What's that?
My time, I can do what I want.
Oh, that's, but it hurts you. Did you tell him that?
No, he thinks...
You got to tell him that, Elsa. He's in denial. Listen, our parents in this country are so effed up. They believe that nothing they do affects kids. Kids are resilient. And in fact, everything they do affect kids. And you have the wherewithal at least to stand up and A, feel it, and B, say something about it. Now go all the way and tell him that it hurts.
But he's like... It's like he only hangs out with his girlfriend because she, like, puts out for him. And
that's right. That's right.
That's the thing he can't do with me, so he'd rather spend time with her.
Well, you're really
never say can't. I mean,
you're demeaning yourself. That's not.
Well, yes. How do you know she puts out for him?
Because he told me, and it was really awkward when he did.
Oh man, it's also gonna get back at Dad. Oh,
hold on
mama.
a second. Let me talk to Drew.
Oh, mama.
Yeah, it's like this guy is cooking up some sort of recipe for getting his daughter into pornography.
Yes.
Or a lesbian. Oh, these idiots. Dads are such idiots. Guys are such idiots. You know, they talk to their daughter like they're making small talk with a stripper before they get a lap dance or something. Which is really the best part of the club scene. I love that little conversation while you're waiting for the next song to end and your dance song to begin. Where are you from? What? How long have you worked at the club? What? Is Diamond your real name? What? Oh, forget it. The song's starting. What? Just dance! Drew, you don't know.
That must be why they turn up the music like that. So those poor women don't have to listen to a-holes like you all the time.
Let me tell you about cranberries. What?
Oh, God.
Do they give you holidays off like Thanksgiving? Huh? Yes, I agree. They just start nodding their head. What time does the club close? Yes, I agree.
Actually, the one and only time I've been to a strip club was on my bachelor party, and I got a million questions from strippers about cervical cancer and genital warts.
Jeez.
It was lovely.
Christ.
It was lovely.
Yeah. All right. Let me get Elsa back over here. Elsa?
Yeah?
All right. So your dad's an idiot, right?
A what?
An idiot?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And you're very disappointed that he's an idiot. Okay.
Don't let that ruin
Where's your
life.
mom? Yeah, where's your mom?
My mom, well, obviously she's divorced. She lives about 13 miles away.
Can you live with her?
Well, spend
No,
time.
I don't, because my dad, over here where he lives, he has a better school. So I go there instead of over where my mom is.
How about spending some time with your mom?
Oh, God, it's terrible with her, too.
No, really?
She like, pisses me off, or I piss her off. Well, I don't really piss her off. She pisses me off because sometimes she just doesn't know things.
I see.
She's too oblivious at times.
Tries to give you
doesn't know who Fred Durst is.
Tries to give you instant coffee, stuff like that. Hey, Elsa?
Yeah?
All right, listen, you hate both your parents. My sister did when she was 14 through 33. But don't let it ruin your life. I mean,
please.
I know I don't want to write them off. I know you hate your parents, but you have to love your friends, love yourself, love your school, love your activities. Just get busy, go out, and don't make them a big part of your life. You just don't. Here's the deal.
I don't hurt them, though.
Oh, too late. They hurt you already. Listen, you cannot need your dad as badly as you need him, unfortunately. It's sad, but it's true. He's caught up in his new girlfriend. He's an idiot.
You can try talking to him about how he's hurting you, but if he won't respond to that, then that's
he'll think I'm stupid and I want attention or something.
Yeah, well, just tell him he's hurting you. Because
God forbid.
No, but listen, she's angry, too, about the divorce and the whole mom being nuts and all that stuff. So just try to, you see, let me tell you something, Drew. I'm telling you, my sister did this with my dad for 20 years, which is she was horribly hurt at his horrible parenting growing up and the way he ignored her. And then she would never, ever come to him, though, and go, hey, listen, what went on that really hurt my feelings, and I want to talk to you about it. It was always a defensive thing after that. And when you get defensive with people, they just get defensive back, and you just get in deeper. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
She'll never say, hey, Dad, you know, the way you talk about your girlfriend and the time you spend with her and some of the things you say to me are really hurtful. Yep. And I bet you he would address that if she put it that way. Yep. But she won't put it that way. She'll act out, and he'll respond.
Right.
And it'll keep going, and it'll keep spiraling deeper and deeper. Kyle or Kylie?
No, it's Kyle.
Kyle. What's up?
What's going on? No, you called me. You asked me to call back this Sunday. We were talking about the salted meats and the brine and the cranberry. But
yeah, Kyle, yeah.
Did you see how Leeza gave us a little glimpse into her white trash past when she quickly threw in that part about the, you know, the glazing the marshmallows over the yam?
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, I know. That's a white trash maneuver. But you know what? I got to get behind her on that. I like those mini marshmallows on my yams.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's good.
Well, that confirms.
And let me say this, Kyle. I know you're going to do some cooking, being a chef and all for Thanksgiving. Let's not overdo it. You know, here's what I want to say to all the people and anyone who might be doing some cooking for me. I don't eat pumpkin pie so often that I need you to F with it.
Right,
I don't eat turkey. I don't eat a whole turkey so much that I need you to F with it. I don't eat stuffing so much that I need you to put those mandarin orange slices into it. It's not boring. I eat stuffing once a year. I eat the turkey once a year with the mashed potatoes and the cranberries, all once a year. Leave it alone.
Well,
that's fine.
I don't understand why we can only have that once a year. I made that about 2 months ago for some friends we had over, full Thanksgiving dinner, and it was like uncomfortable for them that we were eating it on a day other than Thanksgiving.
Oh, it was not. They loved it. All right, thanks, Kyle. You see, you get a ton of chicks, right, with that chef nonsense?
Yeah, tons. I'm married, but
I'm telling you. You know what a chef is to chicks? It's the dude, it's the cool dude it's okay with them to go out with. It's the dude that the celebrity chicks go out with. They don't want to date a celebrity because they don't want to say they're dating a celebrity, so they date a chef. That's a celebrity. That's right. All right, we will take ourselves a little break. Drew, you over there? You holding up?
I'm great.
Fantastic. We'll be back. Yeah! Loveline, everybody. Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
David, who's 13, has been on hold for 123.
I know.
Hold on. Let's wait till it goes to 124 minutes, all right?
All right, here we go. It's got about 8 seconds.
Yeah, let's see. In 5,
8 seconds before
4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
David?
Hi.
You know, when I punch you up, it'll freeze the amount of time you've been on hold. It's 124.00. 124 minutes, baby. Show's only...
There's a colon.
Only show's only 120. I love that. So what's up?
Well, like anime porn. It's like called hentai or henty or something.
What kind of porn?
It's kind of like cartoon porn, but
like that Japanese porn?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But like cartoon stuff.
Right.
Drawn. And it like turns me on more than normal porn.
Yeah, hold on, Dave.
13,
yeah.
You're just transitioning from cartoons to like real life stuff anyway, aren't you?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I started whacking off the deputy dog.
Really? Muskrat and...
That's right. A top cat. I squeezed a few off, too. Drew masturbated to Thomas the Tank Engine once. So, what are you going to do? All right, David. Yeah, that's fine. You see why he's been on hold for 2 hours. Yeah. David, don't get too freaked out with that Japanese animation, though. It's you're going down a very dangerous path with that, with the Dungeons and Dragons and all that Star Trek and that weird fantasy geekdom you guys spin off into. Don't go down that path. Alice?
Yeah.
You're 26. What's up?
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
What a treat. Dr. Drew, about 2 days ago, I gave a man CPR, and it was at work, and he collapsed. And we worked on him for about 20 minutes, and it was myself, a doctor, and a nurse who happened to be shopping there. Anyway, I came away from it. He had a bad gash on his forehead, and he was bleeding pretty bad.
From the fall.
And he had cuts. Anyway, I ended up having
from
cuts.
falling from when he collapsed.
He fell. From what we heard, he was in the midst of like talking to somebody like that worked there, and he just started to walk kind of sideways, and he fell flat on his face. And he had a gash really bad on his forehead, and he was bleeding really bad.
Okay.
And when I arrived there, they were in the middle of CPR, and I stepped in, or they'd already started.
Why did you step in if they were already administering?
Because there was a man that was pumping, and he was not doing a very good job, and I said it twice, and the last time I said, move.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And did you yell stat at any time?
No, I just said I knew his CPR, and he said something out loud like, "There's already a physician that's taking, a physician is doing this now. Thank you." And I thought it was him, but then I learned it was the person that was doing the breathing was the doctor. And
was there a mask? Did you have a CPR mask, face mask?
Actually, we did. We ran back there and we had a breathing mask, is what it's called.
So how did the blood get on you?
Huh?
How'd the blood get on you then?
He was bleeding. I had cuts or scratches all over myself. It was about 20 minutes that we worked on him.
What did you get the scratches from?
I don't know. I don't know if I scratched myself. I don't know if it was.
All right. Well, in the melee. But listen, Alice, what kind of guy is this? White guy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you worried about?
Is he a drug user? Is he homosexual? Is he?
You know what? He was an older gentleman, and he did die, and I don't know anything about him.
Well, you did a fine job.
Yeah.
Old white guy, you're fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, come on, it's an old white guy.
Unacceptable.
Huh?
Hasn't AIDS been around for like 20 years? I mean, you know,
but Alice,
what's going to happen?
Old white guys don't have it.
But be that as it may, it's very hard to contract
that's probably what killed him. But
it's very hard to contract it that way. So it's not something you're likely to get.
My husband is like really worried about this. I mean,
no. Well, you could talk to a doctor. There are circumstances where they put people on antiviral medication when there's been a substantiated exposure, and this is really not that. And even if it were, the risk is very slight of contracting the disease. But you could talk to an infectious disease person.
Well, I mean, shouldn't they do an autopsy and check and see if, Yeah,
but you won't know for a while and whether or not she can get the results. What
do you mean? They can't find out whether the guy's HIV positive in a week or so?
That may be confidential, though. She may not have access to that.
Well, hold on a second. If she was covered with the guy's blood when she tried to save him, I think she could gain access to that information.
You would think, but again, the legalities around this are very strange.
Oh, you love those attorneys, don't you? No, you don't. Drew, you really could. You really could. You could find out. Because here's one thing attorneys hate. More than giving out useful information, a lawsuit. I mean, a lawsuit against them.
For years, Adam, there was a law that I was not allowed to share information about HIV status with anyone, no matter how intimate the contact and the character.
Oh, yeah. The gays got just what they wanted, didn't they? Now everyone's got the HIV. I agree exactly. No, listen, if she said to somebody, hey, I need to know whether the guy's HIV positive or has hepatitis or anything else.
I think she should be able to get it.
Because if I contract this disease 6 months from now, I will own this hospital or this morgue or this city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's Mark, you're 23.
Yeah, what's up, man?
All right. Well, we're out of time, Mark.
Hey.
Sorry about that.
My name's Martin.
Oh, hi, Martin. How are you, Martin? It was good talking to you, Martin. You're only on hold for 10 minutes.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
I got a good question for you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, no. Hey, by the way, when you start your question with all right and then a long pause, that's not a quick question. Hey, Drew, quick question. All right.
Game over.
We're going to take a break. Well, there you have it. Another fantabulous episode of Loveline in the ground, as they
Yes,
say.
indeed.
I'm going to thank Leeza Gibbons for coming on here tonight.
And being a good sport and putting up with your shenanigans.
Absolutely. Everyone should watch Extra on NBC, 7 o'clock weeknights. And you may see Dr. Drew there as well. So, Drew, you'll be back in studio tomorrow?
Mañana.
And we'll look forward to that. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
You had to have laser on your faggoty self, as you say.